All right, I would like to get this 4150 back in usable condition. And so we're gonna work on hydraulic valves right after this. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Rusty Oliver Man. I started doing this the other day, spoiler alert, and I think some of the footage got lost. So I don't know what's left. I kind of looked at it and then I thought there's missing pieces here because something doesn't make sense. So I'm going to start off with whatever I've got. Hopefully there's still footage of taking them off the tractor and stuff like that. And then after a while, we'll pick up with current time now. So here we go. I know it's gonna be a shocker to you that I'm not thinking with all my marbles, but I don't have them all, so that's probably why. But I got to looking at this after putting the other thing together, and I thought, dummy, you can go ahead and rebuild those valves and then have it ready for the hoses when they get here, because I'm using those adapters and I've got them all. I can just screw them right in and then have it sitting there ready to go. And yeah, you know, we can keep making progress. The reason I have to put the adapters in first is because that 91, I'm pretty sure I won't get it screwed in the valve after the valve's bolted to the tractor, but that ain't no big deal. This is the old 4150 white we bought last summer, right around the 4th of July. It was my birthday present to myself, since my birthday's right about then. And we've been making it more better. And one of the things we're gonna do is rebuild these valves. I got this package the other day in the mail. I found these on the old electronic bay. 4 of the 8250 style Pioneer couplers. Connect under pressure, see? And hopefully these are really the pipe thread ones. That's what they should be. But at any rate, even if they're not, we'll get some. No, they should be. I thought I checked all that out. But 8250-4 Pioneer couplings. Somebody obviously bought one, and then who knows where this person got them. Maybe they stole them. I don't know. Not my problem. I know that I bought them legally on the internet, and that's all that matters. So our first order of business is going to be trying to get those hoses broke loose, and because of the way that they are, I think I can get them pretty well out. Well, I say that, but no, that back one on this side looks like somebody has used an adapter, a 45. So that one I'll have to take loose differently or leave it in until we get it out of the watch-a-me. But these back two can definitely, they can come out. This is the style that they would have been from the factory, he says, as he can't get them loose. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Now, come on, friends. There. Why that was such a burden. But we are now unburdened by what has been. So, we don't have to worry about that anymore. But you can see right here, I guess before I take this loose, stop brain, stop fingers. Okay, good. You can see what I was talking about, how you have to have everything kind of staggered to get through here because of the way that it is. And that's what I'm hoping my fitting design will make better, because the back two will actually be down lower underneath the others, and I think it'll work. If it doesn't, why then I guess we'll be sad forever. But I don't know. We've been sad before. Why is that so tight? Is that not coming loose? Is that twisting off? What the heck? Come on. I think I'm just pulling off of it. That does not make me smile, friends. No, it doesn't. What is taking place here? Why is that not coming loose? These are O-ring fittings. They shouldn't be forever tight. Oh, I think I got it finally. All it took was me ramming my arm into this metal brace at full speed back here. No pain, no gain. That's what they say. Now my arm's numb. Jeez. Oh, yeah. All right. Can I get to these any better or not? Well, that one I'm going to have to get something to hold it. It's time for red pliers. Red pliers. Come on, red pliers. We need that precision. German engineering. Red pliers. Yeah. There. That's all it took. Awesome. Isn't that cool when you do that for no reason? Oh. Maybe it would be better to go back here. Alright, now can we get this out of there? We'll have to spin the whole thing because that's an adapter. It's a Johnny Cash adapter kit right there. And I know why he went with 45, because that's the only thing he could get in there with the valve on the tractor. He could have went with a straight one and a 90 degree on the hose, but that would have been a lot more. I could actually get this out of there on the bench, but I thought it'd be easier to break loose all of them with it firmly attached to the tractor. Oh, now that one, somebody went and put a bigger size on there. We're gonna try. I don't know if this will work. Red pliers. Need to go more. Red pliers. Red pliers. Did it get it? I think it did. Well, holy Knutson. The Knutsen's Asian cousin. I think we got her loose. That one we might have to. Is it hitting that bolt head? I can't see. There we go. Alright. We're coming along, friends. Coming along. Alright, magician's helper. We need some of that. If a little's good, more's better, right? More better? Alright. Now we gotta get... Is that broken? This pin might actually be... Or what's happening? Like it's not acting like I think it should. I can... Oh, I see what it is. That's weird. It's got like a... got like a cap on it. That's not the way. That's not the way those are supposed to be. See, I gotta get this off of there. Pull the pin out. And I think somebody did something. I thought they all had E-rings on them. And somebody got the little, those are like the things on pedal tractors that you crunch on the wheels, except they're really tiny ones. And you kind of got to have, I don't know how he got those on there, to be honest with you. He would have had to pry against the opposite side or something, because you don't have room in there to do the thing. This also reminds me, I need to, before we take the 4180 out, it lost one of the E-rings because the pin backed out, and in the field I just pushed it back in, and I've been using it ever since, and I haven't done the thing. Now, is my lever in the cab stuck on this one or what? No, there we go. Okay. I should be able to just back those out and then get them the way they need to be. Essentially what you got here is a sandwich. And they left you some rod here so that you could make a bigger sandwich if that's what you wanted. You could go up to 4 valves with what you got here. On the row crop tractors, the other 2 levers would have went back, and they were bent differently so that they all were in line, 2 in front, 2 in back, and the different slots, they were a little longer too, I believe. And on this, all you would have had to do is just keep on stacking, and they gave you 2 more holes for cables and what have you. It'd be kind of handy to have a 3rd valve sometimes, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. On these, it's super easy. You could do it anytime because it's out in the open. But back to what I was saying is, you just got a sandwich. When you take out these 4 bolts, this piece of the sandwich, the outside, you can just let that hang. It's just a cap. It helps contain the oil and let it go back where it needs to go. But there's nothing in it that needs attention. There are O-rings and backup washers, metal, steel washers that go between each slice of this sandwich, which we have to be aware of. And if you order the rebuild kits for the cylinder or for the valves, it does not come with those in-between pieces, so you got to order those separate. The steel rings we can reuse, but the O-rings we got to swap up there a little bit. So now I need to get a socket and pull those off of there. Oh, if you want to make you a bigger sandwich, you also have to get longer bolts. These obviously would not do the next things, you know. You'd have to go accordingly. But what I'm getting at with telling you all that is this outer piece I'm probably just going to let hang here instead of take it all off, unless it comes off super easy. Come on now. Is this necessary? Well, I don't know. I think it is. Maybe it wouldn't leak that much in the grand scheme of things, but at some point it needs to be done. We might as well do it now, when we're not depending on this for something. Right now it's kind of a spare. Oh, all the weight is hanging on that one piece. I really need to be, oh, okay, that'll work. That'll work. I was really saying I need my other hand. Oh. I just want to make sure we don't lose the any of the rings and stuff. Lay it down here. I guess I lied. The rings and the steel rings and the O-rings are in this outer piece, but it doesn't have to come all the way off. We can give it a tension after a while. There you can see this block just stays on the tractor. We can probably scrape out some of that crud, but you can see the outlines of where the rings and stuff were. But this is what we're after. And I didn't bring enough stuff to really show you good, but that's a steel ring with an O-ring on the outside. So you have O-ring, steel ring, O-ring, steel ring, O-ring, steel ring. This one's just an O-ring. But you don't want to lose the steel rings because that's separate too, and you don't want to have to buy those because they don't wear out. You just need them. So we'll just take those out right away. And what we might do, let's just start laying this in there, and then after a while I'll go dump that box in the cab or something. But we'll just use this little box as our parts collecting rig. And maybe we should get the ones out of this whilst we're thinking about it. If you have a tractor though that's making a mess in between the stacks, that's what these are at fault. These O-rings and things. And you can see how badly flat they are. They're wore out. It's time for new ones. There we go. All right. We should probably scrape up a little bit. Try to clean off some of the gunk. Maybe we want to take them in the house and rebuild them in the basement, like we did with the deer valves. It actually would be easier to rebuild them with a vise. But you've seen me rebuild these before, so I don't know that you need to watch me do it again. I might just bring you back when something interesting happens. Like when I lose the steel balls or, you know, stuff like that. Alright, we've already discovered something interesting that I should point out, because this has come up before on discussion. But inside of the one of these, which would actually be the outlet towards the back on both valves, there is a little deal in there with a pin and a steel ball. And that will fall out of there, or it can. This one, it appears the pin has come loose, and I don't know how much I'm going to struggle to get that. This one, it ain't even there. So that can happen when you take the fitting out, and I don't think it was me that did it. I think it was somebody in its previous life. If this is to be believed, that could have been the one that had this one on it, right? And I don't recall anything falling out while we did this. So what is a guy to do? Well, we've had this discussion before. That Oliver guy and I did, because he had one that was missing. And I have more valves I could take one out of. But then that begs the question, how important is it really, you know? I would rather have it the correct way. And I'm 99% sure that that one that I just took along to town did not have that in it either. because that's the reason why it is a parts valve. Because I may have had this issue once before. I can't remember. But I'm just doing a double take here. I know it didn't fall out now. It just didn't. It wasn't here. But that can easily be overlooked. So we're gonna double check, and then if this isn't it, then I got one more valve I can potentially rob. Oh, well, okay. So this one has the carrier piece, but the steel ball is gone. So that's what that was. So I'm gonna have to try to find, I know I got more of these valves. I know I do, because I took some off that 1855 in the salvage yard. But the question is, that also explains why I had one old rickety hose screwed into that. And that's why, friends, because I didn't want to lose that. So I'm going to screw my adapters in this valve that's complete over here. And now I'm going to go on the hunt. And I'm just going to try to rob the steel ball and the carrier thing. Am I not? Now wait a minute. Something's not kosher here. I don't think that this valve is put together right. I think somebody made a boo-boo on this one. Now, I might be wrong. I'll show you what I mean here in a minute. That valve is good. I'm not denying that. But something's not right here, because there is supposed to be a place in there where that ball will do the thing. And I don't see that place. So my question is this rotated in here not the right way? Or is that totally garbage? Like somebody's put it together wrong. And of course that won't fit. We might just be swapping a different valve in, is what I'm saying. This one might have too many somebody's modifications on it. I don't imagine that's going to hold for me to be able to do anything. No, that's not right either. Okay, let's try this one. Come on, you. That's not gonna work. It's got to be this way. Did that come loose now? Now that I broke my hand. Okay, well, no. Something just is not right in this valve, friends. And I can't explain what I'm seeing until I know what. I guess I'll have to take it totally apart or just sub in a different one. This just doesn't feel right. There's a poppet. It's got a little hot, but not. I've melted them before. Okay, that didn't answer my question yet. Let's take this one loose. There's the other poppet. Okay, so that is in there upside down. But somebody who had this apart, how did they do that thing? I need to get the appropriate tools, but that it is, whoever put that in put it upside down. I don't think that that could have rotated all that way on its own, although it could have once the thing with the ball and that was gone, but I just don't think so. I think somebody put that in wrong, and I'm not saying that that's not usable yet. But the question is, do we want to sub in one that's better? That's the question. We need one that's got all the pieces first before we make that decision. So let me go grab another valve and I'll see about parting it out, or maybe we'll just use it and part this one out. I don't know. But it's got to come apart. It's got to come apart the right way and go back together the right way. And so far I'm not seeing that thing in this one. I might be wrong, but somebody else has been in here that I don't want to say they didn't know what they were doing, because it might work fine, but they didn't put all the pieces back. And the ones they did, they put that in upside down. So yeah, let me go hunt up some more stuff and we'll see what happens. All right, here's a valve that I bought off of the electronic bay years ago. It and that other green one actually came as a pair. I think I gave $100 for the pair, and I thought that was an excellent deal to have some extras laying around for times just like this. In there we have all the pieces we need: a pin, a ball. So far I think I'm going to use this valve instead of the one that was on the tractor. However, I do want to see if the poppets are the same size, because there were two different sizes of poppets, and it would be a lot more handy to have the same stuff in both than to have, oh, and they're not. This one's got the smaller size. So that puts me back on to using the black valve. But this ball and socket thing should be the same. But I need to make sure that that other thing will come out of there and it can be righted. Because if it can't, why then we got a problem too. I'm gonna have to mess with that to get that out of there, I'm afraid. But it should be the same. That should be the exact same. I don't know. We're making 1 out of 2. You can't do that with every piece. Like for example, you cannot do that with the spool. The spool is a match set. If your spool or something is wrong, then you are going to be replacing the whole valve. Come on out of there. Well, of course the pin has drifted. The pin, friends. The pin, there we go. Don't lose the ball. All right. Let's do a quick. I gotta get that out of there. I gotta know that that's gonna work. Otherwise I'm gonna have to use the other valve and have two. There. It should. I think he just got it in there upside down. There. There. Now if I take this, and I put the ball down in, put this down in, now it is right with the world. So, we're going to say that that is acceptable. And now this valve is rebuildable, because we got all the pieces we need. That won't fall out of there now. This will go back in there now. All this has to be taken apart, cleaned, and rebuilt. But right now I'm just in the fact-finding stage. So we can do the thing. Those kits a lot of times come with both sizes of poppets. And I always thought it was a shame because it seemed like you always, I anyway only used the one size, but now I'm wondering if this green one is the one that has the different one, because I'm thinking that most always it's the bigger ones, but you see this one is so much smaller than. Let's just get it back out, you know. Oh no, we don't have to. This one's still out. So you see the difference. And I would rather have the bigger ones because on my other four-wheel drive, I have melted them before. I have melted the poppets, believe it or not. It's not something I'm proud of, but no. No, what happens is, I guess from the extreme, like if you're doing something where you have to keep changing the depth all the time, it creates a lot of heat in there. And eventually that stuff will melt. And the condition that you will see is you'll raise up your tool, you'll let off the lever, and it will immediately go right back down. And you raise it up and let off the lever and it goes back down. It's usually that your poppet's melted. So any kind of goofy situation like that you might find yourself in, why, it's probably something like that. But we are in Fat City, friends. We got everything we need now. We will go do the thing, friends. Go do the thing. As in clean those up, rebuild them, have them ready to slap back on, and just be as happy as we can be. Alright, so we are now ready to put these back on the tractor. I've got them all rebuilt, which turned out to be, yeah, a little bit of a struggle bus. And that is because of, well, several things. Number A, one of these valves, that one, it doesn't matter which is which, but it does in this case, it had a broken spring. And so I had to wait on this valve. I was gonna have it, I took off, I got a couple pieces that I thought would hold it just long enough till, you know, if we had to put it back together without that, but I since ordered springs and I couldn't take them out of the parts valve here because if you recall, the parts valve had the smaller size poppets and the spring goes over the little poppets as such. So that was the way that was. And when we're done here, or when we get it mounted back on the tractor, we're gonna snug everything back up because I don't have everything right here to make her happen. I don't think I'm struggling. There we go. Let's pull that over here. Get to it. we'll see if we can get you down here to the procedure of which I am about to undertake. I hope I got enough stuff. And would it be handy to get this off? Probably. But we're not gonna, because that's an extra struggle. So we don't need it off, we just need it clean. I'm gonna have to get some more magician's helper here. Now, what you could do to make it where you could hold everything would be you could use studs if you have enough room here so that you could slide everything on. But I am not going to do that thing. I'm going to just do it Manuel style. And if I get where I can lay this down and show you, I'll do that. It should be all cleaned up, and I can go ahead and put these on because I got my fittings in tight. So then when I get the hoses, all I got to do is hook up hoses. But basically there's two different sizes of O-rings we need, and then we need to use the metal backup rings from before. If I can get all the stuff dug out of the package. There's actually 3 different size O-rings, and that bothers me because I don't know where I did with the 3rd package. Yeah, there we go. There are 3 different sizes of O-rings we need for this project, and we need to you need to order those separate because they don't come with the kit. This should be this one, and it doesn't have anything. Let me get a little more grease here because I don't think that's quite enough. Probably is, but well, it won't come out. Oh darn. Well, that O-ring is lost to time. That's fine. You'll see where I'm going with this here in a minute. Alright, that one goes there. Then we need the next size one. And what's going to happen with it is it goes in there, but then this steel ring goes inside there. And then we go on to our next one. And it's the same way. The outer 2 ones are the same size, but they've got that steel ring. And see, the back side of the other one is just flat, and you just stack the 2 things on there. And you got to try to hold all that stuff together, and also the cap, because the cap has the same setup in it. Like I've said several times now. Put all that stuff in the... If your valves are leaking in between themselves, this is probably the culprit. These O-rings right here. Because they're what seal all the pieces to each other. Alright, now we're going to make a big sandwich. Big old sandwich. And we'll get all the bolts dug out. There should be 4 of them. One of them I think stayed behind on the thing. Yep. Alright, now I realize that I must have taken all the tools away, because it's been a long time since we started this process. So I'll have to run to the pickup here, which is right next to us, basically. See, it's hard to get to this if you're a big guy. And I should have probably had the arms down and it would have made it easier. But it's okay. We'll get it. We're just going to hope now that we can actually get the hoses on. I mean, it should work, but you never know. In theory, sometimes things don't. I don't know. I think I really want to be on the other side when I finally when I finally do my final tightening. All right, friends, we're on the way. That's the most difficult part of this whole operation that we were performing. Now the next thing is, oh, I forgot about our pins. We need to actually get E-clips because they have bizarro things that somebody put on there. And I just don't think that's going to work. Maybe they'll work for the one side and I'll leave them alone. But I just think that it would probably be better if I, well, you know. Also, let me get E-clips. Let me get the red pliers because I want those. And then I think we're going to be, I think we're in pretty good shape here. So, red pliers to help turn those spools and E-clips, and we'll be right back. All right, the donkeys are sounding off, but that's okay. We can still go. We can still work. We just got to get these turned a little bit. Donkeys. Almost. They're not in, I don't think they're in neutral. They're actually all the way back. That's just how she goes sometimes. When I put the back parts together, that's the way it turned out. Uh-oh. That one is kind of stiff. I hope that lever's not, or that cable's not junk. I'm gonna have to go up in the cab and see if I can push it back or get the cable to come back. I don't know which direction that actually. See if I can get this. Well, what I can do is drop it immediately to the ground. That's cool. I don't even see it. We know it's got to be there though, because it can't go anywhere. I'll put straight down pretty well. So we'll look for it for half an hour. There, I see it. It's just farther away than I can reach. Oh, it's fine. I think it would be better if I could get it. Oh, those aren't, let me think about this for a minute. I thought that those were evenly spaced. They're not. What's happening here? It's almost like that doesn't line up. There. What I'm thinking is, based on what's happened to me before on the other one, is that if I put the pins toward the middle and the E-clip falls off, kind of like it just did there, the pin won't fall all the way out in the field, and you might be able to save yourself and go again. I think I just knutsened me here. That's fine. You know, why would we want to do it right the first time? It'd be a lot better if we just... Oh, did I? Oh, no way. It did clip on there. Sweet. I thought I dropped it. It felt like it went away. See, can I repeat the process here? Or is that gonna probably interfere until I do that number there? Get that back in there. I don't know where they got those little things they put on here, but they're like I said before, those things they put on pedal tractor wheels. See, that's all the way the other way now. Right about there is neutral. She hasn't been used regularly for a while, you can tell, because normally that inside one I think would be the one that got most of the use. Although if they were rolling with that broken spring for a long time, they probably used the other one. And it's hard to say how long they did that thing, you know. But there's one way, there's neutral, and there's the other way. Yeah, right about there. Now, that part should be done. So basically, this is all rebuilt. The only thing we're waiting for now is the hydraulic ends for the hoses I need to make. And whenever that gets here, we can take all these out and swap in our new couplers to our new hoses and hopefully get them put on there with no struggle of any kind. And we'll be hopefully ready to roll, friends. I mean, that was one of the major leaks that it had, and you know, something that had to be done. I couldn't really overlook it anymore because it was just too much. Another thing that probably should be done whilst we're doing this is, yeah, you see what I'm saying there? Those don't look very good. I've never even tried it to see if the 3-point went down, to be honest with you. That could be another issue that we're struggling with. We'll have to find out. I made contact with the guy who told me they had a quick hitch for a white that probably, truth be told, came off that one that my cousin has now, because it's down in that neighborhood. And that'll fit dandy on the back of here, and then that'll be set up just the way we need it, and it will be ready for hopefully testing, because I would like to, you know, if possible, play with this in the field at least one time this year, just to kind of identify some more of its struggles and figure out what we got to do, because it doesn't do much good as a giant paperweight. It would be a lot more handy as a usable machine, and we're getting very, very, very close. We just have to keep doing stuff and then keep fixing things as we find them. You know, we still got problems in there with fuel. We still got problems here with this crazy alternator that we're gonna just replace because I don't like that kind. And if we get all that stuff done, friends, we'll probably have another usable tractor that can sub in for some of these others, because I don't know. And then I got another stroke of genius of things I've wanted for the last many years, and it's finally getting to the point that maybe I can justify buying that, and that is maybe a good sized batwing bush hog. Because I got to thinking about that and I thought, hey, this is 1000 PTO, you know, so that would be a dandy thing that it could do. The 9650 could do that if we switched the shaft, The 4180 has a dual speed on it now. We could do it if we switched the shaft. The 1855 technically has a dual speed, but I don't think I would put it on a 15 or 18 foot bush hog. But that'd be a great thing for this, you know, because it would just be handier to mow with something where you felt like you were getting done. And then if you had some brush or woody stuff, that other little mower I've got is more of a finishing mower than it is a bush hog, because it doesn't have stump jumpers or anything. So yeah, I got to thinking about that last night. That'd be a good thing to buy to be able to play with some of these big horses. So anyway, that's a ways off, but you can kind of see the vision that I'm headed towards. So anyway, we're going to leave this one here. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.